Could tonight be the night? Let's hope it is here at Yankee Stadium, where the Orioles return for the first time in a couple of months.
And the magic number is down to 1. It's a 5-3 final in the Bronx. And now turn your TVs to Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if the Marlins can hang on to beat Minnesota, the Orioles will officially punch their postseason tickets.
Come on, Sal. Sal! Yes. Oh, the pitch. Nice. Go at it. Wait, please.
The final month of the baseball regular season is here. The Orioles are hoping to continue their season into October if they play well enough over September. But, of course, another day and more injuries to talk about with the Orioles. Last night, Dean Kramer left the game early after being hit by a comebacker. And Ramón Urías today was placed on the injured list after he rolled his ankle yesterday at third base.
They got their head down a little bit. I think it's only natural when you lose as many players as you did and you think about kind of what could have been if everybody would have stayed healthy, if you'd have had the health that you had the last 2 years. So I think there was a phase in there where I think this team kind of felt sorry for itself in some ways because of the injuries, but then I think they quickly got over it and said, okay, what are our choices here? What do we have left here? It's either A, we're going to sit here and feel sorry for ourselves the rest of the year, or we're going to pick up the pieces and we're going to continue to fight and move forward. They ain't no quitting this team. It's never been any quitting this team.
We've been going through a patch here for a few months, and it's been trying for all of us. You know, within the span of a few months, it's gotten away from us, and we're going through a trying time, and this is the first time together, I think, that this group is experiencing this, and obviously there are circumstances outside of our control that are making it worse, and perhaps causing a good deal of it, but I think we're going to get right here before the season's over. I think we're going to make the playoffs, and I think we're going to do really well in the playoffs. And so I think this is something that this group is going to get behind it. And this is a group that has accomplished a lot together up until very recently, and it certainly hasn't shaken my belief in any of them.
Brian, the Orioles are a mess.
Yeah. So
they have no closer, they can't hit, and they got 2 pitchers. The Orioles are a mess.
One hop to second. It's a 5-3 final, and the Orioles fall again. They're pushed for the playoffs, pushed back once more.
And they'll have to wait one more day to try to find these good vibes, which were here for 2 months and have been eluding the Orioles for so long since. San Francisco takes the series. The Orioles will try to stave off the sweep tomorrow night.
Yeah, there's a bunch of mixed emotions going on in the clubhouse. I guess guys not being quite used to this type of scenario at the big leagues, because we had a lot of guys get called up and we were going on crazy win streaks. So just talking to them and telling them, like, there was once a time where we would have 15 losses in a row. So, a couple here and there, it's all part of the game. We'll get through it. We'll find our way out on top in the end.
Hey, now speaking of the Orioles, guys, they've lost 8 of their last 11. They lose yesterday to these Giants. Level of concern, D-Row,
It's big because it's a malaise, and it's come over the entire team. They feel it. I will say this, as bad as it's going, that's how quick it can flip. If game 1, Corbin Burnes goes out and shoves, and Gunnar Henderson hits a 3-run bomb, and that place is exploding, it can change in a heartbeat.
Santander, high in the air to right field. It's hit deep. It's got a chance. It's over! The sweet release of a walk-off home run. Orioles 5, Giants 3. Anthony says, good day, sir.
Pitch home, and that's a line drive to the gap in left center field. Green hustles. hustles after it. This ball is deep. This ball is gone! And the Orioles taking a 2-0 lead on home run number 43 by who else? Anthony Santander.
You give him the bat in the 8th inning or the 9th inning, and you have a tie game or a one-run game, and it just feels like he has a chance to win it. There's a certain charisma he has in big moments. He carried the team, and he helped them out in the biggest moments. And another defining moment of the year is that walk-off home run against the Giants. And you're like, they finally got to win. Tony not only provides the big moments, sometimes he provides the big moments when you have to have the big moments.
Let's go, baby!
Some help is on the way and has arrived for the Orioles. Jordan Westburg is back in the lineup. He will bat second today and play second base for the Orioles. And Ramón Urías also on the infield. He'll bat 8th.
Not only do you get one back, you get two back.
Jordan Westburg and Ramón Urías both received enormous ovations as they return from rehab on the same day. Westburg out since the last day of July, Urías the last day of August. They have been two of the Orioles' best hitters this year. Urías, a phenomenal second half. Westburg, a first-time All-Star. Major reinforcements back for the Birds.
Suarez deals one hopper, backhanded by Westburg, and he gets the out at first base.
Here's the pitch. Line drive into center by Urías. Meadows charging hard. He'll let it drop. Ramón Urías with his first hit back with the O's.
3-1 pitch belted. Left center field. That's a gapper. That is classic Jordan Westburg. Welcome back, Westy. You just tied the game. That's a swing that's got to feel as sweet as any in the baseball life of Jordan Westburg.
You know, Jordan we missed for the majority of second half, and he's a big loss just because he's an all-star player and having a great season, and then unfortunately breaks his hand. But he adds so much to our lineup. He adds another right-handed bat. He adds the toughness in his at-bats, the ability to drive in runs. And so just missing him was a big loss for us. You know, Ramón was arguably our hottest hitter at the time. He got hurt. Getting those guys back at the right time and then playing right away, it's been a big bonus for us.
The Tigers take another series, back-to-back weekends where the Orioles have their hearts ripped out by this unstoppable Detroit machine. The hottest team in baseball wins it 4-3, and there will be no postseason clinch today at Camden Yards.
They will have to wait until Tuesday to try to clinch at Yankee Stadium.
From the time that the Orioles were in New York the last time to play the Yankees to the time they returned, there was a lot that took place, and suddenly it looked like a very different team where it's like, let's just get into the playoffs first. But what you've learned about the Orioles is they can handle adversity. And last year it was so easy. The year before, there were not that many injuries and things went right for most of the way. But this year you've had to scratch and claw, and it's been difficult and hasn't always been fun, like, let's face it. But they're probably better tested for the playoffs this year than they were last year. And as much adversity stunk at the time, I think it's going to be something that helps them go far.
Well, one more time, the Orioles head on the road in the regular season, and they're hoping tonight is the night where the push for the playoffs comes to a happy conclusion here in the Bronx. The Orioles need a win and a loss by either Kansas City or Minnesota to clinch a postseason berth.
And today, some more good news. You get Ryan Mountcastle back.
Yeah, all of this is coming at the most opportune hour. So you've already seen Westburg and Urías coming in, not losing a beat, able to pick right back up. And the even better part about all of this is that these three guys, you are getting righties back into your lineup. That has been so desperately needed for the Orioles.
And we're missing 4 right-handed players from the starting lineup. If you look at Mateo, Westburg, Urías, and Mountcastle, that was a lot to have missing all at once. It kind of threw off the balance of our lineup, made us particularly exposed against left-handed pitching, and it was tough. And now that those guys are back, and I think some of the other players are emerging from some slumps that they went through that I think was partly caused by having to take up some extra pressure in the lineup. We like the way we've been playing the last 10 days or so.
And the last time that the Orioles were here, what an offensive series it was for the O's. They scored 26 runs in 3 games. So here we go. Could tonight be the night? And the Orioles kicking off their final regular season road trip.
O'Hearn on the ground. This one is past Jazz Chisholm Jr. The wave around as Verdugo comes up with it in left. Striding at the plate is Santander, and it's not even close. Ryan O'Hearn coming to life against the Yankees. An RBI single, and they double the lead 2-0.
Dean Kramer has been really good of late. The Orioles have won 5 straight starts. Kramer's pitched against the Yankees.
5 of his last 7 starts have been quality starts, and so Dean Kramer is peaking at the right time. He enjoys these big moments. This is a huge moment for the Orioles.
Last year, the day the Orioles clinched a playoff berth, Dean Kramer was on the mound. The day they clinched the American League East title, Dean Kramer was on the mound. Can he help lead them back to the postseason tonight? We'll find out.
Swing and miss, strike 3 on high heat.
Nobody's hitting this one. Perfectly located fastball, just keeps pumping heat.
0-1 to Wells. He cues this one off the mound. Dean, a sliding grab, throws from the ground and gets it in time to first base. An amazing play from the pitcher himself. 2-2. And he gets Stanton. Back-to-back strikeouts for Stanton.
I think our rotation, even though with all of the injuries, has been a huge success. I mean, we've been a strength of our team, honestly. Dean Kramer has once again stepped up in the second half and made some great starts for us.
Here's a 2-2. Ground ball headed up the middle. Fielded by Henderson at the back. Steps on second one. Throws on to first. You can count it for 2. It's a 6-3 double play ball, and that's what you needed. So it's 5 innings of 1-run baseball.
Dean Kramer has been dealing.
Santander ropes it down the line and right, and that
Yes.
ball's off the pole! Clang! Doink gets a homer!
A doink.
Another beautiful sound.
How about that for Anthony Santander? Making 100 RBIs on the year, folks, with that swing right there.
Yeah, he Hank Aaroned it, number 44.
44th home run, 100th RBI, and I'm talking about just an absolute rocket.
Meza delivers. Urías out towards right field, playing back goes Soto. Judge tracking it as well at the bullpen. Are you kidding me? Another home run for the Orioles. Ramón Urías leads off the 7th with a shot.
Right now, if you look at Westburg, Elias, and Mountcastle, those 3 have not been the same lineup for the Orioles since the end of July. They're responsible for half the Orioles' hits tonight. That group finally back together in immediate impact.
Oh, yeah.
Cowser bombs away. Colton Cowser.
Goodness.
That ball is all the way to Westchester.
Oh, the milkman in the house, huh? Stretch one out, kid. He stretched that one out.
A little 8th inning insurance and 8th the milk cold.
And that's a fly ball out to left field. Cowser goes to his left. He's under it. He makes the catch. Check it off. The Orioles win this game by a final score of 5-3. The Orioles do their part tonight, and now they are awaiting patiently to see if the Miami Marlins can hold on against the Minnesota Twins. They're in the top of the 9th. And if the Marlins can hold on, then tonight we are popping champagne in the Big Apple.
Hey, 2 outs in this game. Match of the game. There's a lot of guys that are ribby tonight, but none other than Anthony Santander with his 100th ribby this season.
The news to report right now is that the Minnesota Twins have indeed lost to the Miami Marlins, and the Orioles are returning to the postseason for a 2nd consecutive season.
We talked a few days ago about 28 guys every single night. So proud of this group. We have dealt with so much crap the last 3 months, and you guys continue to fight. We got in. We're peaking at the right time. We've dealt with so much adversity this year, and we're in. So let's get it on. We got 5 more games to go to improve, and then it's a playoff. Let's go!
Came in and we saw the tarps put up, and I think some of us were kind of shocked. And we were like, wait, we clinched, but then we realized we had to wait on another team to lose, so that's what we were watching. So as soon as that happened, it was, a little celebration.
There we go. My favorite brand of champagne.
It's nice clinching in someone else's clubhouse. You don't have to worry about smelling it for weeks in a time afterwards, but it's always a good smell the next day when you go in there. Every time you clinch, every time you get to celebrate is special, and this year was no different. Being with a new group this year, growing a pretty good bond with a lot of those guys in there, so it's always fun to pop bottles, and hopefully that's just the first of many.
It was amazing to watch all these different guys, from those who were here at the very beginning, and then guys from like Zach Eflin, who came from outside the organization. It just shows you how in the course of a baseball season, so many things can change, but different groups of people can come together and make a team hopefully what it is as a winner, and that's what the Orioles have had.
That it was a really rewarding feeling, just regardless of the situation that we were in the second half and what we put ourselves into. I think that being able to make the postseason it's awesome, and anything can happen. So I think as a group, I think we're looking forward to taking the next step.
We were all very excited, obviously, to go to clinch, but there is a level of disappointment because we want to win the East. But I think with that level of disappointment comes maybe some extra motivation that maybe we didn't win the division, but we're going to be playing in October and have a chance to do something special when it really counts.
And a ground ball to shortstop. Gunnar Henderson will go to second, and there it is. For the second straight year, there will be postseason baseball in Baltimore. The Orioles clinch the top wild card in the American League, and if you had plans on Tuesday, cancel them. Take a sick day, bring your friends, bring your family, and get to Camden Yards, where the Orioles' postseason push will begin. The Orioles clinch the top seed in the American League for the wild card teams. They eliminate the Minnesota Twins.
We're disappointed we didn't win the division, but if we're not going to win the division, to get that top wild card spot, to get the home field for the front of the crowd and the home fans, that was really important to us.
We won 2 out of 3 in New York just now. We clinched the home field right away when we got to Minnesota. That felt like Orioles baseball, like we were doing what we needed to do, taking care of business, and I think this team's got its confidence back and a pep in its step.
Swings and drives one deep to right field. Ryan O'Hearn opens the scoring with a 2-run homer.
The 0-2 is lifted down the left field line, slicing into the corner, and this ball, it is out of here. Ryan O'Hearn making back-to-back days with a home run.
I haven't played great in the second half. It's been frustrating. I've kind of gone in a little bit of a slump, but I think that's just the game and how it goes. And some positive strides over the last few weeks, kind of getting back towards what I know I'm capable of. And homer last night and a couple good swings this road trip, so I'm excited with where I'm at.
We're as talented as anyone in the league. We showed that when we're playing good, we're a really tough team to beat. So it's all about going out there and playing for each other, coming out and competing every day. Postseason baseball is what we play for. There's no other feeling like it. You can't replicate it in the regular season. So I'm excited to see some of the young guys get in that that atmosphere and play some postseason baseball. But it's the start of what could be a long month.
Another 1-2, and Vasquez swings and misses. A 98-mile-per-hour fastball from Colin Selby ends the regular season 2024, and now the fun begins. The Orioles are going to the postseason at 91-71. They are going to the postseason playing some of their best baseball of the year on the backs of a 5-1 road trip. It'll be the Orioles and Kansas City, with playoff baseball returning to downtown Baltimore this Tuesday.
It's crazy to say. I'm more proud of our front office this year, our managers and our players this year, by getting in the playoffs when you consider all the injuries. I think it was 13 different players on the IL at one time. I mean, most organizations fold up. They don't have that kind of depth to withstand that, and yet the Orioles found a way to do it. So it talked about the vision that Mike Elias had and that he was going to build this from the ground floor up. And what he said was, I want to be a consistent contender in the playoffs every year. Well, here you are, 96, 97, and now you go back and look at 23 and 24, the Orioles are back-to-back years in the playoffs, and I think this is where this organization expects to be, and I think this is where this organization is going to be for many years to come.
American League East is very competitive. You know, there's always sort of balances of power shifting in the AL East, so to go to the playoffs back-to-back years, but also not sneaking in. Like, we got the top wild card spot, we got home field advantage, we won 90 games. I think it's the first time the Orioles have won 90 games 2 years in a row since the early 80s. So there's a lot to be proud of, and I'm very hopeful that this is going to be one of the better eras of Orioles baseball.
The American League field is set. Here's the AL postseason picture of the Tigers. Streaking down the stretch for your 60th, they'll face the AL West champion Houston Astros. The Royals and the Orioles, the other wild card matchup baseball from Camden Yards. The number 1 seed is the New York Yankees, will play the winner of that series, and the Guardians are number 2. They await the winner of Detroit and Houston.
It seemed like when we lost that last game in Arlington last year, it was like so abrupt. It was like, whoa. And we all knew, you know, if you what a best of 5 series is, if you lose 3 games, you're done. But at the same time, it just seemed like it happened so quick. So just gonna, you know, really appreciate every moment and, you know, just do whatever we can to win, because I don't want it to end that quick, you know, like it did last year.
There's definitely a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation of performing. I think the difference this time around is we understand that in order to be our best selves, we don't have to change anything. We can go out there and just be ourselves, and you know, we've had a lot of success doing that. So I think this time around our mentality is stuck on that, especially when you get to the playoffs. It is about, you know, timing, you know, who gets hot at the right time, and I think we're right on the verge of doing exactly that. You know, we've played a couple of really good series as of late, and we're going into the wild card, so we don't have that 5-game stint of no activity. So I think it's going to be good for us.
Where the Orioles have played the last 3 months is not going to be good enough, but they have the pieces put back in place now, and it just takes getting hot. It just takes getting on a little bit of a roll to make a run. And I think that's where the Orioles are right now. I really feel like once they've clinched this playoff spot now, I think it's like their shoulders, it's been a weight lifted off the shoulders. Okay, we are in, now let's relax and go play baseball. And that experience that they got last year it wasn't a great experience in the playoffs getting swept. It is still a valuable experience. And this team is going to be better. They're going to be mentally and physically tougher for what they've been through this year. So, look, I wouldn't want to play the Orioles at all.